So good day and welcome. I was reflecting on how we've been asked to shelter in, and how sheltering in is a way to provide safety and comfort, hopefully, for all of us, that we have a place that is safe that we can shelter into. And the idea of shelter is that it's somewhere that you go to be safe. And how at this time our bodies can also become a place where we shelter in. That there are so many forces external to us, but also internal to us, that are at play right now. I shared in my email that I was feeling, realizing that I was in denial about the situation, because I came down to the studio to cover up the props after 7 weeks of leaving them out to get dusty, because I was assuming that we would be back at the studio any day now. I don't know when we'll be back, but the reality of the fact that it's not going to be tomorrow, even though the parks are opening, just really hit me in a way, and I realized what a place of denial I had been in, expecting it to be kind of right back to where we were before this all came down. And that the idea of sheltering in for me was to take my feeling of denial and my feeling of sadness and feelings of frustration and anger and loss, and to create a safe space inside myself where I could shelter with those feelings, instead of giving myself a hard time about how I was feeling, or thinking I should be feeling something different than I was feeling. So to use my yoga, my meditation practice to create an internal shelter where there is self-compassion and there is love and there is a sense of safety, that I can be with my difficult feelings and hold them in this safe space. So I wanted to invite us all to use our practice this morning to shelter in. To shelter in not physically, I know you're all sheltered in your homes, but to shelter in yourself. To use the body as a shelter to inhabit in a way that is generous and kind and loving, and to allow it to be a space where all that you're experiencing can have a home. For now, until, as David White says, we're ready to step forward into whatever is coming next. And we don't know what that is. We have ideas about what that is and what that will look like, but none of us are really sure how this will unfold and where it will lead. So just for today, because that's all we have, it's a beautiful day out here in New Jersey. And I hope that you will all be able to get outside wherever you are in the world. We're going to work on opening up legs, hips, twists, seated forward bends, kind of a more inward turning practice that will both prepare your body for being outside later today, for a walk I hope you might take. But it will also give us time to be in this internal shelter within the body, to kind of go a little bit slower, to just be connected inside in a way that you can find meaningful and supportive and helpful to you. So with that context for your practice, please take a seat that is steady and upright. Close your eyes and bring awareness to the shelter of your body, to the house that you live in every day, whether you're inside or outside, the house of your body. And make yourself at home there. Make any physical adjustments so that you feel safe and comfortable and at ease. And bring awareness to your breath. And begin to breathe through your nose a little bit deeper and fuller, opening up the space inside your body for all the things that are in you that need a place, that you would like to shelter. begin the 3-part breath, breathing in first to the belly, then the rib cage, and then all the way up into the chest. And then breathe out from the chest, and then the rib cage, and then the belly. And as you breathe in and you fill yourself, fill up not just the front of the body, fill up the back, and fill up the sides, expanding in all directions, from bottom to top. Take 3 more of these deep breaths, inviting in all the parts of who you are, of what you're feeling, of what your experience is today. And breathing out, letting go of judgments about those feelings and creating a place of safety, of self-acceptance, of compassion, inside, for yourself. And please join your palms together in front of your heart and we'll chant 3 ohms. Take a deep breath in. Bowing your head, honor your shelter. Honor the gift of feeling safe and having a space that you can rest back in. Lifting your head, open your eyes. I'm going to move back to my mat. And I'm going to start seated, so have your towel or blanket placed comfortably under your hips. And extend the right leg out to the side and fold in the left leg. Tilt the pelvis slightly towards your right at the front edge of your sit bones, and then root your tailbone down so you come more to a place of balance. The spine is lifted and stretched straight up. Engage the muscles of your right legs. This muscular engagement is a way of creating safety. It's a way of creating a firm container to shelter into with your body. So gentle engagement in the right leg, fingertips on the floor. And then lifting up through your spine, hinge yourself forward. But keep your spine long. Roll your shoulders back. Make a little baby back bend in your upper back. Pressing the ears back, the head back. And then puff back into the waistline so there's a fullness in your back body. Walk the hands any amount further forward. One of the key components of a strong and steady shelter is its foundation. Anchor your right hip foundationally into the floor. It's going to want to lift up and pull forward with you. Your job is to keep it really anchored so you're strong, you're steady. Take another breath in and out here, feeling the stretch in the right inner thigh. And walking the hands back in and up. Lift up the right arm. Step the left hand behind you. And getting length in the right side body, begin to twist to the right. Try not to use your left hand. It's there to support your back. But see if you can make the twisting action from your abdominal muscles. And as you twist to the left, make sure that the right hip is not lifting up and coming with you, but keep it heavy and grounded. Then drop the right hand to the left knee and use the hands to revolve you just a little bit more. Holding in the twist, expand front to back with your breath, making a big open space. And then inhale, come back to center. Taking your right leg, fold it back. We call this a Z seat because the legs make a Z. And your right foot is not pointed out to the right, it's pointing straight back. So you're more on the shoelace side of the foot. Cup the knees with your hands. And we're going to cat-cow here. As you inhale, arch the back, lift the head, look up. And as you exhale, press the spine back, draw the head down. And as you inhale next, arch the back, lift the head, look up. And as you exhale, round. And continue at your own pace. And focus on letting the breath be the initiator of the movement. What I mean by that is when you're ready to go back, start the exhalation and then follow with the movement. When you're ready to come forward, start the inhalation and follow with the movement. And the readiness is when your breath is ready to either come in or go out. So you're just following the rhythm of your breath with your body, letting the breath move, be the prime mover of your body. The next time you inhale and you come up to center, take the right fingertips over to the floor on your right, lift up the left arm, and lean over. And as you lean over, anchor strong into that right hip and buttock. Let yourself get heavy in your foundation and spin yourself open. Turn your gaze up towards the ceiling. And take a full stretch. You can even bend the right elbow, lean further over. Inhaling, bring yourself up and take the left fingertips to the floor, right arm up. Get long in the right side body, but also get long in the left side body. And then lean over to the left. And as you go to the left, your right hip's going to want to unground. So we need to keep steady to feel safe. We need to know that our house isn't going to blow away, that we have a place to shelter in. So with that in mind, anchor strong into your right hip and extend out from that place of safety and security. Then inhale, bring yourself back up. Place the left hand flat on the floor, right hand on the hip. And we're going to rock forward onto the shins. So you're standing on your shins and the top of your feet. Roll the left shoulder back. Scoop the right buttock under, engaging the glutes of both hips. And then lean your head back and make a back bend in your upper back. Then stretch the right arm up and out. Your foundation is your shins and your feet, and you press down. And from there, you extend out. Take a full breath, in and out, and another one, in, and then as you exhale, release the hips down. Good. Fold the right leg in, and extend the left leg out. I'm going to set the foundation more mindfully on this side, starting with the right leg. Take both hands, one hand to the right inner thigh, and the right hand to the right glutes and the right hip. Lean to the left, and roll the right inner thigh to the right, pull the sit bone out to the right, and then put the foot back down, the hip back down. And then do the same on the left. Lean a little bit to the side so that you can lift the weight off and internally rotate the leg. And fingertips on the floor in front. Muscle energy in the left leg, a steady encasement for your shelter. Lift the spine up, breathe in, and exhale. Hinge forward. And I'm going to remind you to anchor the left buttock down, but you're probably remembering. So heavy into that buttock, and then stretch the spine up out of the bowl of the pelvis forward. Roll the shoulders back and see if you can bring your heart forward faster than your shoulders. And breathe into the stretch. Stretch in the inner left thigh, maybe a stretch in your back. Maybe the hands crawl forward a little bit more. Walking the hands back. Lift up the left arm. Stepping the right hand behind you just to support your back. Begin to twist to your right, using your abdominal muscles. Notice how as you do that, your left hip wants to shift a little bit forward, so pull it back and down. And then drop the hand to the knee and continue into the twist. Work with your breath in the same way. As you inhale, feel an upward movement, and as you exhale, revolve around a little bit deeper and heavy down into both hips evenly. Taking your time to feel with your next inhalation, come back to center. And then taking the left leg, fold it back. Point the toes straight back. And allow the left thigh and the left hip to settle down. Now, this side is tighter for me than the other side. So I'm gonna take a second towel or a second blanket and give my hips just a little bit more lift, and that's gonna make it easier for my thigh to settle down. So if you feel that on this side, self-compassion. Do what you need to feel at ease. And sliding the hands to the knees, cat and cow. Inhaling, following the movement of the breath with the movement of the body, and exhaling. Breath first, body second. You work from the inside out. And that creates more ease because you're more in tune, more attuned to the inner rhythms of your body rather than the outer form that you're trying to copy or perform. Is more organic, more fluid. And when we move from that deeper inner space, perhaps there's a deeper sense of safety that you feel you can release and open because you feel sheltered and held in a way that is easeful. So a few more breaths. Perhaps deepening, rocking to the back of the sit bones, rocking forward to the front of the sit bones. The whole spine articulating in this architecture of your body. And the next time you inhale and you come up, take the left fingertips to the floor, lift up the right arm, get long in the sides of the body, roll the left shoulder back, and then lean over. And that leaning over gives more weight into the left hip to settle. Like settling the foundation deeper into what keeps you steady. Stretch long through the right arm. Breathe into the pose. And breathing in, bring yourself back up. Take the right fingertips to the floor, left arm up. And then pull from the left fingers down into the left shoulder, down the left line of the body, into the left hip, into the floor. Keeping that stretch over to the right. And then turn, open any amount. And then fill this shelter with breath, with a life-giving force that sustains and supports us. Inhaling, come up. Left hand to the hip, right hand flat. Rock forward up onto your shins. And leaning back, curling the head back. Scoop the flesh of the buttocks down towards the floor. Stretch the arm over the ear, left arm over the ear. Roll the armpit back, the head back. Make a upper back bend. And then inhabit your body. Inhabit your feelings. Inhabit where you are today with your breath, with your awareness. One more inhale, and then exhale to settle the hips back down. We're going to come to all fours to hands and knees so you can move your blankets or towels off to the side. And come up to tabletop. Setting the knees directly under the hips and the hands directly under the shoulders, outer deltoid lining up with the middle of the wrists. Wrist creases facing straight ahead. Begin some cat-cows here. Again, letting the breath be the lead dance partner in the stance. time with the movements. Taking your time to feel all the ways the bones in your back articulate, the way the muscles move, the way the pelvis rolls over the thigh bones. And the next time you inhale and come up to center, stretch your right leg back, toes on the floor, and push out through the right heel so you feel the stretch in the right calf. Keeping the right heel pushing back, stretch the left arm forward, finding balance, tone the low belly, and create a steady shelter for yourself. Take a full breath in. Float up the right leg, lifting from the inner thigh of the leg. One more breath. And then exhale, hand down, knee down. Take a breath. In no rush this morning. Just to feel, to pause, to be. Stretch the left leg back and press out through the left heel. So you feel a stretch in your calf. I think a lot of us have been doing a lot of walking, the calves get tight. So feeling that stretch, the belly's strong, stretch forward your right arm. And from the core of your pelvis, push down through your front knee and back through your leg and out through the whole body. Then float up the back leg, reach out through the right fingers, take a deep breath in, and then exhale, hand down and knee down. Child's pose. Come to the shoelace side of the foot, settle the heels back, the hips back. Any form of child's pose that's comfortable for your knees and for your back. If your knees don't want to do a full flexion, you can keep the hips high. You can even lie down on your belly. Then fold your arms so you're holding your elbows and rest your forehead on your forearms. And become a little shelter, a little place of ease and safety. And take a few breaths. Offering yourself compassion. Offering this body compassion. Offering your emotions compassion. And breathing in, bring yourself back up to all fours. Shift the knees back a few inches, curl the toes under for downward facing dog pose. Lift the hips up and press back. And as you come to your dog pose, take a moment to pedal your feet left and right. And take a full stretch back. Feel the breath pulsing in your body, creating expansion and contraction. With your next inhale, step the right foot forward up to your hands. Lift up to your fingertips. And then shelter in, pull in, skin to muscle to bone. Pull in from the back foot towards the front foot. And then expand back out from the inside with your breath, just holding the lunge pose. If you want to put blocks under your hands, of course you can do so. Take one more breath here. And then step back, down face dog. Inhale the left foot forward. Firm into the right leg. And then feel your breath expanding your ribs side to side, front to back. And the cylinder of your torso top to bottom. If it's available, come up onto your fingertips. It gives us a little bit more sensitivity than putting the hands flat. And that sensitivity is a way of paying attention and honoring whatever it is we're feeling. Down face dog. right foot forward again. This time do put the left hand flat so you can bear weight in it. It becomes very foundational. Lift the right arm up and twist to the right. And then stretch the right arm over your ear. And grow long in the right side body and long in the left side body. Drop the left knee to the floor. Lift the right arm back up to the ceiling and twist a little bit more deeply to the right. Then deep into the front knee. Take a full breath. And exhale, lower the hand to the floor and flip the toes under the back foot. So you're on the shoelace side of the foot. We're going to do a deep stretch for the hip flexors. So you can keep your hands on the floor. Optimal is to bring your hands up onto your knee. And then you're going to press down strong into your foundation so that the left knee lifts up off the floor just an inch or two. And then pull forward with your whole body. Bend the right knee forward, pull the belly forward, pull the pelvis forward, and then lower the knee back down. Place the hands, down face dog. Inhale, come forward to plank pose. Exhale, bend the elbows, and come all the way down, cobra pose. Exhale, down face dog. Breathing in, step the left foot forward, lunge. Getting steady here. Lift up the left arm and twist. Extend the left arm over the ear for a long side stretch. And then lower the right knee down to the floor and lift the left arm straight up to the ceiling. You're still in your twisted lunge. Go a little bit deeper. And if your shoulder's bothering you, keep the hand on the hip. And inhale, untwist, hands back to the floor. And either keep the hands on the floor or bring the hands up onto the knee. Flip the toes under the back foot. Press the toes down. And then lift up the back knee just a tiny bit. And pull forward. Lift the heart up. Breathe in, shoulders back. Exhale, knee down. Hands down, down face dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lower the torso. A baby cobra pose. And back to dog pose. Take a deep breath in and out. Lift up the right leg, bend the knee, turn the hip open. And we're going to come to pigeon pose, so slide the right knee forward and the left knee comes down. You can fold up one of your blankets or put a block underneath the right hip for support if you want. And come down onto your forearms. And see if you can sense if your pelvis is a little bit opened to the left. If it is, use your breath and see if you can begin to turn it to face straight down towards your mat and forward towards the front edge. Do a little bit of an internal rotation on your left leg. Walk your elbows to your left. Stretch your right arm out to the left. Bring the right elbow back down to the floor. Lift the low belly up a little bit. And then walk the elbows back to center. We're going to step to a forearm plank. So lift up your left knee and slide the right leg all the way back behind you. Come to a plank pose on your forearms. And then fill up with your breath to hold you. Exhale, lower the pelvis down. Flip to the top of the feet. Sphinx pose. Draw your heart forward. Spread your collarbones wide. And hug the shoulder blades onto your back. Do a little internal rotation on the legs. And then 3 breaths into the cylinder of your torso, making space. Space to inhabit. Space in which to shelter. Bringing the torso down, place the hands down, face dog, curl the toes under, and lift up and press back. Lift up the left leg, bend the knee, turn the hip open, stretching along the whole front line of the left side of the body. And then slide the left knee forward for pigeon pose. If you're using a prop under the hip, put it under the left hip. And make your way down to your elbows. And then make space with the breath. Expand from the inside. Square the pelvis, using your breath to make the movement. Puff into your back waist and soften gently into your heart. And walk the elbows to your right. And stretch the left arm out to the right as far as it will go up on fingertips. Inhaling, come back to center. We're going to step to forearm plank one more time. So set your forearms, lift up your back knee, maybe step the foot in a little bit, and then slide the left leg back. Scoop your tailbone. Take a full breath in and out, and one more in, and then exhale, lower the hips down to the floor, the front of the pelvis down, and draw your heart forward as you stretch back through your legs. We're going to take a thigh stretch, and if you would prefer to put your head down, you can do this with your head down. It's a little easier on the shoulders. Otherwise, stay up on your forearms, bend up your right leg, and with your right hand, catch your right foot. And draw the heel in towards the buttock. It's very likely that when you caught your right foot, you turned your belly a little bit to the right. So using the breath, see if you can, from the inside, realign yourself. So both hips are facing the mat. Both sides of the belly are evenly weighted on the mat. The chest is facing forward. You should feel a good stretch in your thigh. Take 2 more breaths. And then exhale and release. Lower the leg. Step the legs closer together and just rest your head down for a moment. You can shimmy the hips left and right. Give your shoulders a rest. And please come back up to your elbows, if you're on your elbows. Otherwise, just fold your right forearm in and rest your head down on your hand. Then bend up your left leg, and reaching back, catch your foot. Hold your foot wherever you can. And once you've got a hold of your foot, bring your awareness to your inner body and create a balanced shelter. So begin this internal rotation to the right so that the left hip comes down, the left side of the belly comes down, the left chest rolls down. So everything's facing forward as much as your body will allow. If you're on your right elbow, try not to sink into the shoulder, but press down and use the muscles of the back to bring the right shoulder blade more firmly onto the back. Take 1 or 2 more breaths. And exhale and release. Place the hands down, face dog. Enjoy the stretch here. I'm going to stay here for a few breaths. If the shoulders are tired, come to child's pose. Otherwise, just breathe and feel the cylinder of your torso expanding and contracting. The inner body expanding and contracting. Creating inner space. A space where you can be kind to yourself. A space where you can allow for whatever it is that you're feeling. A space that is generous towards yourself. 3 more breaths. And exhale, lower the knees down to the floor. Come down to sit. Once again, you can place the towels underneath the hips if you wish. Good. And then stretching the right leg straight out, fold the left leg in. And open the left knee out to the side and maybe even back behind you a little bit. Leaning over to the right, both hands, roll the inner thigh in, pull the sit bone wide, and then leaning to the left, do the same thing. And then go down the leg, turning the fascia and the muscles in so that you feel very flat and heavy on the floor. There's a steady foundation. Your body feels grounded. It's a steady shelter. Framing your right leg, lift the spine up and do an internal twist to the right so that instead of facing how your torso normally faces, you're facing more along the line of your right leg. If you have a strap, you can put the strap around the foot. We're going to fold forward. So take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, extend. And before you let the back curve, see if you can tilt more to the front edge of your sit bones. Lengthen the side body, press the shoulders back, make a little back bend in your upper back. So your heart is reaching forward, beautiful. And then exhale, walk the hands further out, and perhaps you now fold over your right leg. Continuing to use the breath to twist just a little bit to the right so that you really line up with the leg. The pose is not forced. Let the breath carry you deeper. Follow the breath where it needs to go. Take 1 more breath here. And walking your hands back, sit yourself back up. Support yourself with your left hand. Push down with both hands, get long. Lift up the right arm. And then again, use your abdominal muscles and your breath to turn yourself to the left, to twist. Make sure the right hip doesn't come with you. And then lower the right hand to the left knee. And breathe into the twist, pulling the right hip back and down as you revolve around and up and to your left. Inhaling, untwist, bend up your right leg, and take the strap around the foot, or you can hold the foot. I'll do it with the strap with you. Lift up the knee and stretch the leg straight up. Bend the knee. Pull the foot over towards you, almost like your leg is doing pigeon pose. Yeah, and then stretch the leg straight up again. And bend again towards a pigeon pose. And make sure your back isn't collapsing back, but you're sitting up really straight. So those blankets under the hips will be a big help. And then stretch the leg straight up. One more time, a pigeon pose. Yeah. And then stretch the leg straight up. If you're using the strap, hold both straps with your left hand and put the right hand behind you. Sit up a little bit taller. And now use your abdominal muscles to twist to the right. Twist right, and then stretch the right arm back behind you. I'm in the fireplace, but stretch the right arm back behind you. Yeah. And lift with the left arm, the right leg higher. Good. Slowly begin to lower the leg down to the floor. And remove the strap. Well done. Switch your legs. Left leg forward, right leg back. Both hands to your right leg, roll the inner thigh in, pull the sit bone wide. Same on the left. And then fingertips on the floor, and a little bit of an internal turn to face over the left leg. Take a deep breath in, and then walk yourself forward, starting with a little back bend and a straight spine. And then exhaling to fold more deeply. You can always put a strap around the foot. You can also take the right hand across to hold the left shin or the pinky edge of the left foot. And breathe. And let the breath expand you from the inside. Make space. Let the breath guide you to deepen the pose. In this way, we won't get hurt when we begin to force our bodies into a shape where they're not ready to go. We can create harm. But when we connect deep to the inside and follow the organic movement of the breath, when we get really sensitive to ourselves, then the shelter becomes safe. And the pose becomes a shelter that is safe. And the work in the pose becomes safe. With your next breath in, walk yourself back up. Bend up your left leg. Take the strap around the foot. Lean back a little bit just so you can get the weight off of your foot. And then extend the leg up. And then see if you can lean forward again so your spine is really upright. Exhale towards a pigeon pose. The foot is flexed and active so the knee is protected. Inhale, Kranchasana, crane pose, heron pose. Exhale, sunbird, curl, pearl in. And inhale, extend out, heron. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, extend out. Yeah, one more. Doing great. Exhale, pull in. Inhale, extend out. Hold the foot or the strap both in your right hand. And then open the left arm back behind you. And use those muscles in your belly, in your ribs, in your torso to twist yourself. Make sure that the left foot doesn't swing to the right. It stays straight out from the hip. And then bend the right elbow and lift the left leg a little higher. Twist a little deeper. Inhale to untwist, and exhale, lower the leg all the way down to the floor and remove the strap. Stretch out the other leg. Once again, widen the sit bones and the flesh of the buttocks. Sit up on something if you find that your back is rounding. And then tilt the pelvis a little bit more anterior, a little bit more forward. And fill up with the breath. Side body gets long. If you're finding that this is a lot of strain, use your fingertips on the floor beside you to support your back. If you can lift your hands and the back doesn't collapse, then bring your hands to your heart. Dandasana, staff pose. Breathing here. As you inhale, rise up. And as you exhale, heavy into the buttocks, into the thighs, the calves, the heels. This is great work for the muscles in your back. A few more breaths. One last breath. And release the hands back behind you and place them on the floor, fingers facing forward. Bend up your knees and step your feet in nice and close. Lean back a little bit into your bent elbows. And then rolling the shoulders and the upper arms out, stretch your arms straight and puff into your chest. Lift your shoulder blades into your heart. You can just stay here. You can also press down into your feet and lift up your hips. And if you lift up your hips, breathe. The hips a little higher. Press the head back gently. Use the gluteal muscles to scoop the tailbone towards the knee. Exhale, lower the hips back down. Stretch out the legs. One last time. Inner thighs in and back, sit bones wide. Strap once again around the soles of both feet, Paschimottanasana. And holding firm, create that upper back bend. Breathe into your low back, your mid back, so they're not overworking and hardening. And then bending the elbows, hinge yourself forward any amount with a straight back. We're doing this in 2 stages. Stage 1, the back is straight. The shoulder blades are flat on the back. The leg muscles are engaged and strong. You can stay here or proceed to stage 2. The spine folds over the legs and the hands reach a little further forward. Maybe you catch your feet or you hold the strap. Then the elbows to the sides and extend your spine forward out over your legs. Filling up with breath. Modifying however you need to so that your back and your legs, all your body parts feel safe and at ease. Next time you breathe in, bring yourself back up. And we're going to repeat Purvottanasana, this one. And you can do it either with the knees bent, as we did the first time, or with the legs straight, legs internally rotating and toes pointing towards the floor. Then the elbows back to set the shoulders. Externally rotate the upper arms, and then pushing down into the hands, lift up the hips. And you don't have to lift up your hips. You could just stay here, stretching your chest. So choose the option that works best for your shoulders, your back, your legs. And then lift up and extend into whichever pose you're choosing to do. Exhale, lower down, settle the hips. Bend up the right leg and step the right foot across. If you find that your right hip lifts up when you do that, then step the right foot on the inside. So either on the inside or across. Good. Wrap the left arm or elbow over the right knee. And then pull the knee in towards you, and then heavy into the right hip. Pull the right knee in so it's more vertical, heavy into the right hip. Then twist from your abdominal muscles around to the right. The right hand behind supporting. The left leg shelter, strong shelter. Breathe in, lift the spine higher. Breathe out, twist a little bit more deeply. Inhale, lift the spine up again. Exhale, twist more deeply. Add a little baby back bend in your upper back. Good. And then inhale, untwist. And stretch out the right leg. Bend up the left. Cross the foot or place it on the inside. And then there's this little pulsation that goes on. As you draw the left knee in, the left hip gets light. So you heavy it down. And then you draw the left knee in more, but you also heavy the left hip down. You draw the left knee in to the right and sink the hip down. Then wrap the arm, hook the elbow, and support yourself from behind. Then work with the breath to move you into the twist. So use the abdominal muscles and use your exhalation. The inhalation gives a lifting up, the exhalation a revolving around. So just play with that pulsation and explore for yourself, for your own body, what gives you more space, but within a container that feels safe and steady. Next time you inhale, untwist yourself and stretch the leg back out. So we're going to begin to prepare for our winding down. We're going to do Supta Baddha Konasana to end our practice today. So this is the pose, so soles of the feet together, but we're going to lie down. And you can either put a block under each knee, or you can I have a bath towel here. Take it, fold it into quarters, and from there into a roll, and it goes on top of the feet, under the shins, under the ankles, so the knees have a little bit of elevation. So on top of the feet, tucked under the ankles. Have a second blanket or pillow. Lie down. Have your pelvis as close to your heels as works for you. If you need more space or your knees don't want to do a big flexion, then slide the feet farther away from you. And then take the second blanket and rest it on your belly or across your pelvis. And this just gives a little bit of sense of safety and comfort. It's very soothing. And place one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. Slide the elbows down to the floor. And take the 3-part breath. Breathe in first to the hand in the belly, then the ribs, and then the chest. And breathe out from the chest to the ribs, to the belly. Breathe in belly, ribs, chest. And breathe out, chest, ribs, belly. Continue at your own rate of breathing for a few more breaths. Just letting yourself be soothed, almost as though the breath is like rocking you in a cradle. Rocking you and soothing you. Accepting every part of you. after the next breath, release your hands by your sides. Palms face up. Fingers curled. Using your hands, draw your knees together and extend your legs, stepping your feet out over the towel. The towel's under your knees. And just resting here, letting the body relax. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Satchidananda Murtaye Nishprapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Tejase. Begin to deepen your breath, to bring your awareness back into your body, moving fingers and toes. And then bending your knees, curl into your right, into a fetal position. Curl in tight, feeling yourself held, sheltered, safe, accepted by yourself. Give yourself this gift. Then using your hands, make your way up to sit. And as you come all the way up, join your palms together in front of your heart. And bow your head and honor the shelter of this body, the shelter of your practice, and the gift of love and self-compassion you have given yourself today. Lift your head and take a breath in for Om. Namaste.